got me thinking, and I've known Ray for a while, why don't we bring Ray in and do some motion capture? He could be MAUL, you know, one more time, physically fighting. So when we see MAUL fighting, it's gonna be really MAUL fighting.
Amazing to play Darth Maul again. We've just been hitting it hard, you know, coming up with some new stuff. It's been really nice. We're trying to do as much as we can, you know, butterfly twists and flips and corkscrews. You know, it'll be fun.
We get the speed of MAUL, we get moves that are inherent to Ray.
Ahsoka, Tana. Oh, you have Kenobi's arrogance.
You'll find I have many qualities for you to dislike.
And then I'm finally taking Ray's performance and Sam's performance and putting them together. Hopefully one of the best fights we did, if not the best lightsaber fight.
Lauren's really fast because she's using 2 lightsabers. There's a timing, there's a beat. It's like you're dancing, you feel an energy from the other person.
It's MAUL.
Yeah, it's MAUL. It's MAUL.
It's MAUL.
I have goosebumps.
Using mocap for the first time, all those sort of subtle nuances that Ray is able to bring to MAUL were just so helpful.
See him in my mind's eye. Kenobi. Kenobi!
I said I wanted a faster version of what the other movies were, more energetic version. And that's basically what he gave me. And I think the key to it was that we had a good villain who was a great fighter.
I always wanted to fly when I was a kid. I wanted to be like the guys in the movies. That's how I started my martial arts.
I found Darth Maul, and he's being played by a guy called Ray Park. And he's very good in like kendo and martial arts, and he's a brilliant gymnast. I mean, you know, he's better than I am.
We actually cast a villain who was a sword fighter. You know, when you have one of the characters who actually knows what he's doing and is really an expert at it, it definitely ups the ante for all the other actors to do their thing as well as they can. And I think it makes a big difference on the screen.
We could see immediately he had the look, he had all the physical skill. He was incredibly disciplined, and the amount of work that this guy did was phenomenal. I mean, he put everything. He spent, 20 hours at the studio every day. The hatred that comes out of his eyes, there's no question that he is the serious bad guy. The makeup, which was beautifully done, instantly shows you someone who is a real menace.
The look of Darth Maul, the Sith Lord, I think it's cool. I think the makeup and the horns and the lenses and the teeth, you just can't help being naughty, to help being that character. I think we all have a bit of a dark side in us, and so I just try and bring that out myself when I play a character.
When I got the call, I was like having a geek stroke. I was having a meltdown. My brain was melting, and I just couldn't wipe the smile off my face. But at the same time, you just start stressing out about it because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And Darth Maul is a big deal.
This is where you live. How long have you been here? Years and years and years and years and years.
Not only is it something that I'm extremely enthusiastic to do.
One more.
But I feel a tremendous sense of responsibility to get it right. And so I started thinking about what this guy might have been through for the past 10 years. And the funny thing is that me and my friends have already discussed this. We already talked about it. Like, if Darth Maul were to come back, what kind of a miserable existence might this guy have been living in the years following Phantom Menace? And how grieved he must be, and how sad and angry and all those things, and how he would only just want revenge. And so I found myself oddly prepared for this. I was like, oh yeah, I've been thinking about this.
Here we go. Take one.
Always remember, I am fear. Always remember, I am filth. Always remember, I am nothing.
I maybe said a few crazy things in that booth. His mind is also shattered. His body is in pieces, and yet he has this grim determination to assert himself on the galaxy. So you just kind of mix all that up, come up with some crazy stuff. And there were other elements that I thought might be interesting to introduce. For example, I thought it might be interesting to quote the Sith code.
Strength, fucking power. full power I can fit for my chains are broken. Chains are the easy part.
It's what goes on in here that's hard, and basically that his mind is broken. And the dark side of the Force has consumed him and driven him mad, while at the same time keeping him alive.
I was apprenticed to the most powerful being in the galaxy once. I was destined to become so much more. But I was robbed of that destiny by the Jedi, by Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Star Wars was the reason why I really got into martial arts. And I just fell in love with movies and films and action and kung fu and magic. And I decided when I was about 14, 15, I actually want to do this in movies for real. So here I am.
But the elegance of the lightsaber fight in the Twin Sons episode was completely satisfying.
There's what's great about it is every little shot, every little setup moment is a chess piece move by even Obi-Wan going for the different ready positions. The thing that I've been saying for years is it's almost like when you bump into the high school bully, but you're 30 now, but you bump into the high school bully, you suddenly become 14 again, and you become petty and petulant and angry, and you're not, you know what I mean? Like it's unresolved stuff, and you haven't seen this person since high school. It's the same thing with Obi-Wan and Maul. It's like this grudge that goes way, way back. So when Maul does his thing, the first thing Obi-Wan does is he does his, sort of his kid self. He turns into Ewan McGregor for a second, and then takes a breath and goes, oh, no, that was the mistake. That's the guy that fought in the war. We learned that was not the way to go. Mistakes were made back then. I'm actually Ben Kenobi, and he goes to the Alec Guinness pose. And then he's like, let's see if I can play the same trick on Maul. And then he assumes the Qui-Gon Jinn pose, thus cueing Maul up, who's still 14-year-old high school guy, bully, whatever, cues Maul up to try the same move that he tried on Qui-Gon. I mean, it's a very interesting interplay between the two. You're like, move, counter move, psychological game. And it all has to do with a huge misunderstanding on the part of Maul. He does not get what he's looking at. He doesn't understand it until he gets hit by the lightsaber. Then he's like, because he sees this guy and he's a old desert rat. He's nothing, and it's time to end this finally. There were many times I could have ended it. There were times where I tried to end it but didn't. There are times I've hurt this person, and there are times that he's hurt me. But it's time to put this away, because this was, when I was cut in half, this was the last time. It's the last time that that life made sense. And ever since then, it's been spiraling out of control in this weird cycle, of rises and falls in this guy's life. So finally, he sees this pathetic creature in the middle of the desert and says, "It's time to finish this, and in a weird way, move on with my life. This is the hope that I have, that I can put myself together and I'm going to kill this guy and move on." And he completely misreads it. And the moment the lightsaber hits him, he goes, "Oh, this is not a desert rat. This is a Jedi Master. He's not even he's a Jedi Master on guard duty. And if he's this good, this is the most important guard post in the galaxy." And he puts it together. He's like, I understand how you survived. I understand what you're doing out here. I even understand partially who or what you are guarding.
I always envisioned Darth Maul having 2 double-bladed lightsabers, one in each hand.
Oh yeah?
Which I can do.
That is a working hazard, I think.
It is. It worked a bit harder on your forearms and your head. A lot of bashing. I was already training about 10 to 12 hours a day for competition. I used to represent Great Britain for the Wushu team. But it was a different ball game with Darth Maul. I had to of course, you're using a lightsaber, so you've got to practice that theory of lightsaber battling. But I was already sort of jumping around like a Tasmanian devil.
Can we teach Corey the stance now?
So you got to stand like a cowboy, sort of thing. Like a cowboy.
Yeah, my pants are too tight.
Yeah, but it's
right,
great. Stand up, chest out,
chest out,
and then you just got to do the look quick. So a little look, so you do boom.
Like a blue steel kind of. Does the chest pop when you do that? And then the arms pull back.
So you're
supposed to do it into the camera.
Yeah, do it again.
So this is 90% intimidation then.
You're
that's it.
scary,
You
and
don't
I'm
have to
just-
do anything. It's all about the look and then run away.
I said to George, George, we should really bring him back. And he said, oh, is that true? And I'm like, yeah, we should. And he's like, all right, we'll do it. Who should play him? I'm like, probably me. And he's like, all right. Ray lip-synced my performance. But then again, Ray would also do his own thing, so not everything fit exactly because he needed to have freedom to bring his Darth Maul to it. And then I came back and voiced it again to fill in all those spots. So it was back and forth between me and Ray. What I appreciated about the process is that both Ray and I were respected for our knowledge on this subject. Little things like a producer saying to me, okay, and then he's gonna draw his lightsaber. And I'm like, okay, which lightsaber? They're like, oh, his double-bladed lightsaber from Phantom Menace. I'm like, all right, forgive me, but he doesn't have that anymore. You got two choices. You can go with the dark saber, which means this, this, and this, or you can go with the Inquisitor lightsaber, which means, interestingly enough, he's being hunted by the Empire. That was the cool thing, that I didn't feel like I was gonna be fired when I kicked up dust with a producer or with Ron Howard. They were like, no, tell us more, what's the deal?
Were you a bit disappointed, like with Maul, thinking that he died at the end of the Phantom Menace? And how did you feel when you found out that they brought him back for Star Wars: The Clone Wars?
Well, I always knew Maul was going to be dead at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And it was just whether or not you see him getting chopped in half.
Right.
And then, you know, there was fan speculation over the years about Maul coming back, and then they brought him back for the Clone Wars. So I honestly thought that he was only going to be back for an episode or so and then get killed off again.
Yeah.
But he was there for a whole season.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was great to watch it with my kid. For Darth Maul, it was all about the action, the body language. And if I was to go back and do it again, I would really play with the makeup a little bit and more and just bring that to life. But the makeup and the costume does sort of influence the characters I play. And I really do like, I mean, in the beginning I wanted to show my face and I wanted to be the guy saving the world and kissing the girls and saving, you know, but now I like to, you know, play character roles. We don't get to see me and bring some characters to life. It was like an old, the old Kung Fu movies where the master doesn't show any expression.
Yes.
Oh, cool. And he battles
like
with
a
you
Shaw
without,
Brothers movie
like
or something.
That's how I was portraying Darth Maul in a sense.